A long trip to the northeast awaits Bristol City to face a Sunderland side confident shot at the Stadium of Light. Can Bristol City make it 3 wins on the trot and it really gain some momentum towards the back end of the season? You could place Sunderland and Bristol City in a very similar boat. Two sides, not really much to play for till the end of the season. Very, very inconsistent, both of them. The only difference though with Sunderland, they've had a lot of chaos during the course of the season. They've had 3 separate managers. Started with Tony Mowbray, who was the manager last season, led them to a playoff finish, and considering the fact that Sunderland were a newly promoted League One side, that was a marvellous achievement. He was replaced by Mick Beale halfway into the season. Mick Beale was not a popular figure at Sunderland, was always disliked, and then got sacked after a 2-1 defeat at Birmingham. Since then, Mike Dodd has been the interim manager till the end of the season, so yes, I am counting that, and I'm going to say 3 managers for Sunderland throughout the course of the season. And since their victory over Plymouth on the 10th of February 2024, they've played 9 games, they've lost 7 of them, and only accumulated 4 points. Last time out, they lost 5-1 at the Stadium of Light against the struggling Blackburn side. Things are not well at Sunderland. A couple of players to look out for then in that Sunderland setup. Jack Clarke is the obvious name, isn't he? On the left-hand side, he is a threat to any team in the Championship, let alone Bristol City. So he is someone that Liam Manning will have to create some sort of clever plan to stop if he is going to stop, but he is back from an injury, so hopefully he's not completely fresh from a Bristol City perspective. Joe Bellingham is another player who's really impressed me at the start of the season, not just because of his name and the fact that Jude Bellingham is his brother, but generally because he's taken to a more central striker position really well. Somewhere Sunderland have probably struggled the most in, really, and one of the reasons why they've kind of petered out this season and not been able to push on to the playoffs yet like they did last season. So that's someone I'd be looking at as well from a Bristol City perspective. Patrick Roberts really impressed me when he came to Ashton Gate last time out, and someone who was a massive threat, a bit of a live wire, picking up those pockets of space no one else really picks up, and no one really has the quality to pick up. So hopefully Bristol City have those 3, marked down and not playing very well tomorrow. Sunderland at the moment are 2 points behind Bristol City, and considering before this Easter weekend, Bristol City on the whole were not in good form at all, so that is a little bit weird and quite concerning, I'd say, from a Sunderland perspective, considering we have been kind of neck and neck all season. So hopefully Bristol City can go there, considering the good Easter weekend we've had and the good performance we put in at Plymouth Argyle. We can go there with a bit of confidence and make it 3 wins in a row, and stick the knife in on Sunderland in not a bad way, obviously. Considering there were no changes from the game against Leicester to the game against Plymouth, I wouldn't anticipate any changes, considering there's a longer rest period from the game against Plymouth to the game at Sunderland. That is a long journey to the northeast, but I wouldn't anticipate too much in terms of changes. So hopefully Bristol City are fine. Although Scott Twine did go off injured in the game against Plymouth, but he didn't require any medical assistance. I said this in my match review. He looked like he was walking fine. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he's absolutely fine for this one. If there are any changes, I'd probably anticipate them in midfield, with Matty James possibly coming out due to his age. For Joe Williams, perhaps, maybe even Taylor Garden-Hickman. Maybe Ross McCrory comes in at right back. But apart from that, I don't really see too much in the way of changes. Maybe even Mark Sykes comes in on the right or the left. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Would you make any changes to the winning formula? Sunderland do have a problem with taking chances, and they've not really had a recognised striker all season. Russin, Lewis Harry Semedo, Mason Burst have all been kind of tried out. Joe Bellingham recently as well. But it's been a bit of a problem all season, really. Chris Rigg is someone who has impressed, and maybe he might get a start in this one, considering he did come on against Blackburn and did get their goal in that 5-1 defeat. But there is something that Bristol City should probably consider, and maybe some are, confident shot in front of goal. I'm feeling that Saturday will be an open game. Both sides do like to play on the front foot. Both sides have good technical players. Sunderland more so, I'd say, than Bristol City at the moment, especially if Scott Twine doesn't play. But they do, but both sides have some good attacking quality, and I do think there will be some element of openness about this. Sunderland do have high-scoring games generally at the Stadium of Light, apart from that 0-0 draw against QPR in the last game before that. So hopefully it is an open game. I think it might suit Bristol City a little bit more, considering at the moment we probably have a little bit more going forward than Sunderland. Again, that might bite me on the backside, but hopefully Bristol City have a little bit more going forward. For that reason, I do think it'll be an open game, but I also do think Sunderland do have enough quality to go and score against us, and ultimately that's why I'm kind of going to sit on the fence probably. For that reason, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, and I'm not going to make it 3 wins in a row for Bristol City. I'd be very happy if it was, and I do think this is probably one of the better chances to play Sunderland side at the Stadium of Light this season, considering the fact that they have been, just been battered against the Blackburn side, who are looking really down and out before that. So hopefully, from a Bristol City perspective, we can take some advantages from that. and go and beat this Sunderland side. But I'm not ignoring the fact that Sunderland finished in the playoffs last season, and I do think have some really good attacking quality within that setup, particularly Jack Clarke. So yeah, two sides locked in mid-table, not really much to play for, not really going anywhere. Bristol going into this game with a little bit more momentum, I suppose, but yeah, it is very marginal, I would say, suggesting, especially being at the Stadium of Light, long trip for the City players and City fans, so it might be a little bit of it'll be an interesting game. It'll be quite, hopefully, an open game as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, hit like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Ian Harris channel for more Bristol City content in the future. So from two sides with not really much to play for and stuck in the middle of the table, to a side in a promotion race and currently sat top of the league. Here is a video I made on Ipswich Town yesterday.